This video brought to you by Oscar. Send your own swivels to my P.O. box. Hey, my name is Jobby, and freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Except if you're a Decepticon, in which case you'll be violently murdered. If you're new to my channel, you probably don't know about my distaste for the Michael Bay Transformers franchise. Check out my other movie figure reviews to see me give Michael Bay a good old whipping. Now, one of the big reasons why I don't like these alleged movies are the changes done to Optimus Prime. And I'm not even talking about visually. Who gives a fuck about the flames at this point? Instead of being a noble leader who sees extreme violence as a last resort, this version of Optimus Prime just can't wait to stab, tear faces off, and murder Leonard Nimoy point-blank execution style. No, Optimus! These movies turn Optimus Prime into a violent psychopath whose only saving grace is that he doesn't kill humans or his allies. And in The Last Night, that probably changes. I wouldn't know because I refuse to see this movie, so please spoil it in the comments. So despite all that, I can't deny that Optimus Prime has one of the best designs. Amidst the ocean of convoluted, monochromatic scrap, Optimus Prime and Bumblebee stand out as distinct, colorful, and appealing character designs. But his knight look, well, that's where the actual toy review begins. The painting and the sculpting on this figure is pretty good. To my knowledge, this redesign appears in Age of Extinction, which is another movie I refuse to watch, and I gotta say, I'm half okay with it. On the one hand, hell yeah, giant robot knights is a pretty cool idea, but on the other hand, kibble me timbers. Backpack kibble is one thing, but localizing the majority of the truck mode into the calves is just a stupid idea. The truck mode bits almost feel like an afterthought, because when you look at this guy from the front, it looks like a decently proportionate figure, and the worst thing is that to most people, this is the superior redesign to the leader class figure, which is just unforgivable. As a side note, it's pretty cool that the first movie design of Optimus Prime got a masterpiece figure, but it would be so nice to see a Last Night masterpiece figure, because the knight design, in my opinion, is awesome, and it deserves way better than this. At least the painting's pretty good. The blue is a beautiful metallic paint, and the silver parts look nice and shiny. But compared to the movie model, this figure is missing so many paint apps. I understand the need to conserve production costs, but are flames really that expensive? I assume that someone more talented than me can go in there and touch it up, and they probably already did because this video's 10 years late. So the paint might be plain, but at least it's clean. Until you get to the head. What the fuck happened here? And the eyes are just, they don't look that great. This is a head sculpt that would definitely benefit from light piping. Now to complete his knight look, you get a few accessories. The sword plugs into his hand, and the shield plugs into his arm. And the weapons don't look too bad. I especially like the shield's bright blue paint, but the sword could use a lot less orange. So the sword looks more like a nail file or a carrot. And if you're not using the sword, you can actually slide it into his back. Not a bad feature. But what's really cool is that the shoulders can move forward, and that allows the figure to grab the sword with two hands. And that makes the sword look a lot better. And I gotta say, the rest of the figure's posability is not that bad. Ball joint at the head, can look up that far and look down that far. Rotation at the arm. Shoulder guards move out and can swivel. Arm moves out. Bicep swivel. Bend at the elbow. Wrist swivel. Never mind, fuck you. Waist swivel. Crotch guard moves up. Rotation at the leg. Can't move back that far. Forgive me. Swivel here. Slight bend at the knee. And that's it. The posability on this figure is fantastic in some areas, but very lacking in others. Despite the limited posability, you can still get some decent poses out of this guy. But for even more options, you can introduce and it can plug right into this hole. Which reminds me, a little amendment to the Last Night Barricade review. This figure also has a hole that allows you to plug in a it doesn't look too bad. Being a Voyager class figure, this guy is a decent size. Here's Figma Modic Academy, SH Monster Arts Godzilla, Masterpiece Optimus Prime, Deluxe Class Last Night Barricade, and the Age of Extinction Voyager Class Evasion Mode Optimus Prime, which is a much better movie Optimus figure in my opinion. So if you're not into Transformers toy collecting, you might be confused about the word kibble. Kibble in this context describes the alternate mode parts that are obviously visible. Yeah, isn't it obvious this guy transforms? And here we have the truck mode. And I gotta say, it's fantastic. But at what cost? I don't know why some of these Transformers designers insist to sacrifice the robot mode for an alternate mode, but I believe that it should be the other way around. I mean, yeah, the truck mode is extremely clean and it's barely got any kibble, but if it means such an excessive amount of kibble in the robot mode, I'm not too impressed. But that's not really a complaint about the truck mode. It looks great with beautiful detailing. Even the Autobot symbol on the grill is meticulously sculpted. And I also don't mind the pitch black windows. I think it's better than having transparent windows that reveal nothing. Another great thing about the truck is is the weapon storage, and slide the sword into here. He could also roll really well, and let's just get into the size comparison. Madica Godzilla Prime, Barricade, and the Superior Prime. But overall, the figure's alright. It's a figure with a fantastic truck mode, decent robot mode with terrible kibble, and you should get this figure if you're a last night completionist and if the figure's $20. But it's not $20, fuck the economy. And I gotta thank my good friend Oscar for giving me this figure on my birthday. Please, forgive me for not completely loving the figure. I completely love you, and that's all that should matter. And if any of you guys wanted to give me gifts, you can send all of your fan mail to my newly opened P.O. Box. I announced the P.O. Box a week ago on my Facebook and Twitter, but for the rest of you, send anything you'd like to P.O. Box 329, Norwalk, California 90651. Any figures that go to the P.O. Box, I will review it and give you a shout out. But just keep in mind, I won't send anything back, so only send what you're willing to part with. So yeah, the official JobbytheHong P.O. Box is opened, and what could possibly go wrong?
No, Optimus!